Hey everybody, how's it going? So Deadline was reporting a lot on the whole behind the scene details between Kevin Feige, Disney, Sony, that whole beef that's going on right now. And one thing that's revealed is that early in a lot of the film's processes for things like Venom, potentially Into the Spider-Verse, and other Sony Marvel products, so maybe Morbius as well, way before they finished filming, way before they enter post-production, Kevin Feige was involved in some of the creative process and planning processes on an uncredited basis for these movies, which is probably why we got certain things in maybe things like Venom, like hints towards the planet of the symbiotes, and maybe why we didn't forcibly get Carnage in the first movie, instead we got Riot. Wouldn't be surprised if a lot of those things were because of him instead of Sony, because we know from concept art and stuff like that early on, it looked like they wanted to do Carnage. And when every time you talk to a Sony executive about Venom, they just talked about how excited they were to eventually do Carnage. So I wouldn't be surprised if Kevin was maybe behind waiting on the whole Carnage process, at least for the time being. They still say though that Sony Pictures boss Tom Rothman, who everyone hates from X-Men Origins Wolverine and Fan 4 Stick, he still was the person at the end of the day, spent a good time in the editing room, as they say. So Kevin Feige, yeah, definitely him being an uncredited producer for a lot of the Sony Marvel stuff, well, it is really interesting because it could play a part in the future of a lot of these Sony Marvel films if they don't have his creative expertise, because he contributed a lot to things like The Amazing Spider-Man 2 when the Sony leaked emails came out. And it's funny because every recommendation he had was great. It was like a weird thing where every recommendation he gave Sony was a great recommendation, and Sony took and adapted none of them, which is part of the reason why Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out the way it did, because I'm sure when not even Kevin Feige, but probably people that also had good ideas, shared said good ideas, Rothman probably heard good ideas and said, wait, I don't want to make a good movie. I want to make, I guess, whatever in his mind characterizes a good movie after things like Origins and Fan 4 Stick, which makes me sad. Anyways, comment below your thoughts. What do you guys think about this news? And what film do you think behind the scenes has markings of Kevin Feige's involvement besides Venom and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse? I really don't think he probably played too much a role of Into the Spider-Verse, to be honest, but definitely Venom was one of them. But comment below your thoughts. What do you guys think? And we'll see you guys later.